Footy season is over, so I'm back on another footy ground trip and I'm here at Pigeon Ponds. Pigeon Ponds played in the Southwest District Football League until the early 80s, I believe 1983. It's still a current cricket ground. Keeper's box, I think this might have been a canteen. Not too much to see in the old timekeeper's box now. Just a few empty cans from when the boys went up here. Now, I've just been to Harrow and looked at all the Johnny Muller stuff there, but the weird thing is that Harrow, they haven't had a cricket club for 50 years. If you live in Harrow, I think you play for Pigeon Ponds. And the football club is Harrow Balmoral, a merge of Harrow and Balmoral. But this is in between Harrow and Balmoral, so I guess this is like the merged cricket club in a way. I think this may have had a basketball court on it at one stage. One bloke did send me a photo of a Pigeon Ponds basketball jersey, which was pretty rare. Obviously, they're cricket nets now. This little shed here in front of the club rooms was the old lolly shed. Now, Pigeon Ponds, they played in the Southwest District, which was based around Portland. But Harrow played in the Horsham District. Well, it used to be other leagues, but they were in the Horsham District for their final years, and it's a completely different area. So we're in between the Wimmera and the Southwest District. Pigeon Ponds wore green with a red V, a great design. There's actually some jumpers up in the hole up here, but I believe it's locked and I won't be able to get access to it today, unfortunately, but maybe another time. A really great setting around here with the rolling hills. It's a great part of Western Victoria. The weird thing about Pigeon Ponds is that there's no town around here. It is just an area in between Harrow and Balmoral, well, pretty much. And yeah, I suppose that's why they didn't continue as a club and Harrow and Balmoral did. The fence around the tennis court doesn't really look too old, but the court isn't in great condition, so it makes me think they don't play here anymore, unfortunately. The cricket pitch here is new. It's changed since I've been here, and I think I can walk on it. Yeah, it's got a bit of wood here still, so big upgrades here at Pigeon Ponds. 1970, the original Harrow side actually approached Pigeon Ponds for a merger, but that was declined by Pigeon Ponds, and that might have been the best move for him, maybe in retrospect. Harrow did merge with Myja Lake, and Harrow Myja Lake continued until the 90s. But by then, Pigeon Ponds were no more. In mid-84, they finished up due to a lack of players. So the area just couldn't sustain this amount of players for that many teams. There's a creek down this far end of the ground in there somewhere. And apparently the goals went from here up to the club room end. So no sign of it anymore. The cricket club here played in the Cassidy Association for many years, but that's folded up now, so they have to go play in Hamilton. So I reckon we'll go over to Hamilton Way and see what's around there. So I'm at the hole now, and you can actually see the jumpers in there, which is pretty sick. That one there does not have... Oh, it's actually the netball. My bad. So there's netball and the football on the left. Pretty cool to actually see them in person for the first time. For some reason, there is a Fitzroy jumper in there. Whether there was a bloke here from Pigeon Ponds that played for Fitzroy, not too sure. 100 game players. How sick is that? Got a good view of that. So it ended up in 1970, that goes. So sure there's a few past that as well. A few local legends, of course. Here's a blazer, which is pretty sick. There's actually a premiership from 1938, CFA. I have to look that one up. CFAs. It might be Coleraine district, I might think so. Anyway, pretty happy with those finds, because actually last time I came to Pigeon Ponds, made a TikTok, I didn't see that. I didn't actually realise they were in there. So I saw the photos later on. So yeah, pretty cool to actually get a look at that for the first time, even though I have been to this ground. There's an old church here as well, but that's about it for Pigeon Ponds. Just more a farming area than a town, really. On my way to Coleraine, I've stopped at this place called Konong Wutong. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, there's a hole here, some old tennis courts behind me. It might have been used for cricket, and I think it might have been used for football way back in the day as well, but there's not really a whole lot to show you in terms of footy or anything. I don't think there's a cricket pitch. There is the hole here, which still looks like it gets used a bit. So yeah, anyway, interesting name. There was a footy team up until the 60s. These look like canteen rooms or something like that. Maybe it was for cricket afterwards. And the tennis here looks like it hasn't been used for a while. The grass is starting to take over a fair bit. Konong Wutong, if that's how you say it, played in the Glenelg Football League until 1964, so it's not really that long ago, and I thought there might be a little bit more here than what there is, so this might not even be the ground. So anyway, generally grounds are near a hall, so that's why I thought it might be here. And there's a bit of an area here with the trees around it, so generally a footy ground will have trees around it as well. It's such a nice area around here with all the hills, especially back there before. It's sort of like you're in Ireland or something like that. It's yeah, I like going around this country. I've arrived in Coleraine. Now this is an actual town, and this oval here, Sylvester Oval, is a bit of a hidden gem. Coleraine used to play in the Western Border League until 1994, and they used to struggle in it a bit, but this ground used to host grand finals because it's so good, built on the side of the hill. They've since moved to the Southwest District League, and they've won 8 premierships, I believe, since then. So it's a pretty successful period, and it's more to their level. The Southwest District is probably more around the area where they are anyway. But strangely, the oval is has very long grass. Someone's mown around the outside the oval, and it wouldn't have been that long, probably like a month or maybe a month and a half since they've last played here, and it's gotten very, very long since then. So yeah, interesting. They've had a lot of rain here. Would be nice to have a kick on this oval actually, but the grass is that bloody long. I actually can't believe this. But how good is the setting with the hill up on the side here? Definitely would love to come to a game here at some stage. You've got your scoreboard down there, but there's another scoreboard here. Not sure if they use this one as well. I have seen a few clubs with 2 scoreboards, but it's not super common. You might be able to guess, but Coleraine wear maroon with a gold V. You could cut this bloody ground for hay. It's got that much grass. The cricket pitch looks like it's here, but don't know if they're still playing cricket here nowadays. If you think footy's struggling, cricket is a whole nother level. But how is the view on this ground? It would be awesome to play here, I reckon. Here's the scoreboard. It is electronic, so maybe the old scoreboard up on the hill was the first one. This is the second one. Although it does look fairly original, like they might have done updates to it, but interesting that it has a roof on it. It makes me think that the numbers were hard to read, so they had to chuck a bit of a roof over it so you could actually read it, but it might have been one of the early ones. It actually does have cricket on there, so don't know if they would actually use that though. And the goalposts are fairly old and a little bit of rust on them. I reckon these are new goalposts. Looks like it to me. Got the end of it there, and yeah, should be a nice little upgrade. They've got the short post in there at the moment, which is alright for the sort of this level, I suppose, but a nice upgrade would be to get new goalposts. These netball courts are pretty flash. Must have been done very recently. Can't actually find when they were upgraded, but I noticed that a lot of Western Victoria had netball upgrades, so I reckon they get a little bit more money than us, what we do in South Australia. But yeah, very slick. Good for a grand final, I reckon. This sign here actually mentions the Western Border Netball League, which they're not part of anymore, but it's cool to see a bit of a remnant from the Western Border League. Also noticed that they've got the new lights as well, the slick LED ones, so there's actually been a heap of upgrades here, and it's just getting better. Bit of a unique entrance to the ground as well. You go over this creek, the Bryan Creek, to get to the ground, so something a bit different as well. It might sound like I'm near the ocean, but this is Wadden Falls, and I think there's actually a cricket ground near here as well, but pretty good location. I didn't actually know too much about this little spot, but yeah, pretty nice. Here's a cricket oval. There's a little camping set up here and pitch out there. I can't find any trace of them playing footy here. The Magpie seems to know a fair bit, but not too much. I don't really know. We're just out of Hamilton, and they seem to have played in the Hamilton Cricket League, but I haven't found any results since the 1960s. Possibly could have played sooner, but these look fairly old, this pitch here. So this half of it, well, the end of it down here sort of deteriorated a fair bit actually. Well, we have a book exchange library. Let's see what books are in here. Morris Gleitzman. Give Peas a chance. Bit of kids ones down there. There's no cricket autobiographies or anything like that. Pretty cool camping setup. This one's got a koala buddy hot plate thing. Down the other side there's a fireplace as well. I guess this is like an oven. Not sure. Suppose it is. Then a little fireplace down there. And I'm in Hamilton now, so I'm at Friendly's Reserve, where St Andrews used to play, which was a junior side here in Hamilton. Hamilton's got 10,000 people, so it's a fairly large sort of place. Just until the past couple of years, they had a club that played here, and now the Southwest District League has an expanded juniors competition, which they didn't even have before. So this competition, I think it was Southwest Victoria or something like that. It included Hamilton and Portland clubs, and now they've all sort of merged together, and players have to go to the Southwest District clubs to play juniors if they can't get a run at Hamilton or Portland. In fact, the Hamilton Football Club this year, their ground's getting upgraded, which we'll go and have a look at. But I mean, they could have played here. They went out and played in Dunkeld, out of all places. It's probably better facilities. There was a St Mary's senior football side that played here up until the 1950s. In the Wallacedale District Football Association of all places, which is, Wallacedale is a ground I actually need to go to as well, which is funny that it was their district. But yeah. The only sign of the red and black of St Andrews is actually this visitor's sign. I think there might be a home one as well, but that's the only red and black around here. And here we are, the only sign left of St Andrews. Wonder how long this one will stay here for. Hopefully as long as it can. Next to the footy oval, cricket oval, is actually a velodrome, which you don't see too many of nowadays. A lot of times velodromes were around footy ovals back in the day, but not too many people racing bikes nowadays. So just double checked, it was St Mary's that played here as a seniors football club until the 1950s, and then St Andrews as a junior side. So I believe it would have something to do with the church. I believe St Mary's is Catholic and St Andrews is Presbyterian. So there you go. We don't see a lot of footy and religion mixing nowadays, but sometimes they still do. We'll finish up today with Melville Oval here in Hamilton, the main footy ground of the town, and this was a home of the Hamilton Imperials and the Hamilton Magpies for many years, and now they've joined the Hampden League in the past 10 years or so, and they've merged together. So they're getting the new club rooms here. You can see they've fenced off a fair bit of this ground. There's a great old grandstand there, and then this wing's fenced off, and you can still kick the footy. There's a couple of blokes there kicking the footy now. So yeah, it is a really good location, this oval. They played in the Western Border, as I mentioned, in the South Australian, sort of half South Australian based league, and now they just play down the Hampden, sort of stronger league down in Portland. So they'll host a few good games up here. I reckon I might have to try and get to a game, because it's only an hour and a half of me, this ground, and bit of a nice location. Really nice town actually, Hamilton. Nice area. I've got a bonus set up. Well, it's not one ground, it's a whole setup here of 3 footy grounds. So in the north part of Hamilton here is Pigeon Park, and this is actually where Hamilton trained this year. They didn't play, and this is when I thought people said that the grounds were too small, and I do agree, because there's 3 grounds here and they would all be suitable for juniors, and that's probably about it. The one one I'm on now is where St Andrews Cricket Club is. So the St Andrews that we saw before, the cricket club is here, incidentally. Maybe no, they must have played there. The junior football must have been at the other ground. So anyway, St Andrews Cricket Club is here in Pigeon Park. One oval there, one here. I think this might be the biggest. And the one on the far side is actually a rectangular setup, but there's footy goals there, and then there's actually soccer out the back there. This oval must be where the Hamilton Kangaroos are trained this year, because they've got bloody big light towers here, and the new setup on that far side as well. So there's a lot of money getting spent in Hamilton. It's not the worst place to live, I don't reckon. This ground here is also for cricket, so St Andrews must have a lot of cricket clubs. There's a cricket pitch out there, but also the footy goals. This is actually a second soccer pitch, because the main one is down there, and I've actually been there before. I've been here for 7-a-side soccer tournaments before, coaching and playing, and they don't really have the greatest facilities compared to us in the Limestone Coast League. Although I think Hamilton did play in the Limestone Coast a little bit way back in the day. But yeah, no club rooms from what I can see. I can't really remember. There's a shade here. But they are doing works of the pitch here. So it's actually getting a little bit better. So that's good to see for Hamilton. And that wraps up the ground tour around Hamilton. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you want to see from videos on YouTube or content in general. But yeah, anyway, thanks. Cheers.